blood on your hands because you helped create this nonsense.
Julie said the other day, there's a permissive attitude on the West Coast especially. Oh, property crimes. What is it, $950?
Yeah.
As long as you only steal $950, we're not going to, no, put them in jail and keep them in jail. I know I'm making you nervous, but let me tell you something. I want your son to be able to go to law school without having his tires stolen, and I want people to be able to walk across that campus and every other campus and not feel at risk. And your son and other students feel at risk right now. It's out of control, Susan. It is out of control. And I'm telling you, Democrats feel this way every bit as much as independents and Republicans I talk to.
And my sister, who lived in San Francisco, was telling me families are fleeing the city similar to the way they did in New York in the early 90s. They do not feel safe.
This is directly tied to their rhetoric and Democrat policies. You cannot think that you could go around broadcasting how all cops are racist, police brutality, defund the police, and then have Democrats come out with policies that say, you know what, as long as you steal something that's under $950, it won't be considered a crime. What did you think was going to happen? This was going on all year last year, but nobody cared. As a matter of fact, you guys promoted and covered for this nonsense.
That is reparations. Anything they want to take it, because these businesses have insurance.
But as soon as it left the Commonners and it crossed over into Beverly Hills, oh, now it's an issue.
The cost of organized retail crime estimated by one trade organization at more than $68 billion worth of products.
Now we should lock them up and keep them locked up. And you know that the rhetoric is odd for them because Homeboy begins to bow his head like, oh, we can't say that. We're the defund the police group. We're the ones that says that law is racist. It's a form of white supremacy. Now that it's come over to their side of town, it's fearful for their kids to go to school. What about the average person's kids? No care there? No care that you guys are promoting chaos and violence to really run through the streets of America. But as soon as it touches your door, oh, now it's an issue. Nah, y'all don't get to cry now. Y'all don't get to cry now. And here's the thing. You cannot separate policies for the way that it's going to impact people. Now, he just said, you know, I spoke to Democrats and independents, and I'm assuming he means voters. And he said, you know, like they don't like this. They don't like this. But that's unfortunate because the people that they are voting for, Democrats, don't quite agree. Isn't that right, Ms. Tlaib?
You endorsed the Breathe Act, which is a series of proposals to transform America's criminal justice system and create, quote, a roadmap for prison abolition. The Breathe Act proposes emptying federal detention facilities within 10 years. To what extent have you wrestled with any potential downsides of releasing into society every single person who's currently in a federal prison?
Yeah, I think that everyone's like, oh my God, we're going to just release everybody. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah, but did you see how many people are mentally ill that are in prison right now?
No, I know, but the act that you endorsed actually says release everyone
in 10 years. But think about it, who are releasing?
But there are like human traffickers,
I know.
Child sex. So, but you're saying, do you mean that you don't actually support that? Because you endorsed the bill.
No, I endorse the Breathe Act and looking at the policies and how we incarcerate, absolutely.
But it says in there...
But you cannot just blankly say, oh, look, she wants, that's not what I'm saying.
But that's like in plain text.
I'm saying is look at who's in prison now. No, look at the folks that are mentally ill, that have substance abuse problems.
But I'm not disagreeing with you that there are people who should be in prison.
Yeah, but then why aren't you asking me about them? You're asking me about the human traffickers and others that should
I'm trying to understand. What I'm trying to understand is your proposal is so sweeping. It does release everyone. And what I'm trying to say to you is...
Within 10 years, and obviously there's a process of looking at how can we get away from mass incarceration and move towards care first.
But what I'm trying to understand, because it is such a sweeping, concrete proposal, do you believe that there are still categories of people who should be behind bars?
There are absolutely folks that I don't know, because right now the way the prison system is supposed to be like rehabilitatory, it's supposed to be rehabilitation.
Yes. She wants to release prisoners, all of them, in a span of 10 years. But they're making it seem like we're saying, we'll release all of the prisoners. And then this chick has the audacity to say that it's a rehabilitation center. No, prison is not rehab. When has prison ever been rehab? Like, what is this chick talking about? And the fact that she says, no, what we want to do you know how many mentally ill people are in these places? Okay, so you want to release all the crazies first. What do you think that's going to do? And then after we release all the crazies, then we'll work on the rapists and the murderers and the gang members, but we're going to do it in a timely fashion. We're not going to do it all at once. We're just going to do it by increments, and, eventually we'll let them all out in a span of 10 years. Who voted for this chick? Like, did you guys literally just see a D next to her name and just be like, you know what? This is the broad we want. You cannot spew rhetoric that says everything is racist and then come out with policy that says as long as you steal something under $950, there will be no punishment, and think that nothing's going to happen. You are creating a hotbed for chaos. And the fact that they sit there confused, like, how did this happen? It reminds me of Proverbs 4. It says the way of the wicked is deep darkness, and they don't know what makes them stumble. They have no idea. They say all of these things, but they literally cannot connect the dots. It makes absolutely no sense to them. They say one thing, and whenever the fruit that comes out of this seed that they have planted produces death, they're absolutely confused by it. Like, what the hell happened here? And this is why I say everything is absolutely spiritual. And this is also why I come to you from a natural point of view, because Jesus, as much as he wanted to talk about kingdom realities, he had to give it to the people in a way that they could understand it. It was given to them in parables. He had to tell stories, because apart from that, they wouldn't be able to get it because they were so spiritually blind. They were so numb to spiritual things that it just wouldn't comprehend. So I come to you with natural things that are happening in our community and around us, and I'm hoping that as I lay them out before you, that you can see that this directly comes from the kingdom of darkness. There is a spiritual aspect to everything, and I can point you in the Word of God to the answer to all of these things, but we got to do it slow. So to all these news anchors, I hope you look in the mirror and realize that you are the gas and the fire to this nonsense, and that you will rethink everything that you have been promoting. Is this really what we want for America? And if so, then you don't love this country. But if you care about the average American, change your rhetoric. But don't cry about the mess that you helped create.